If the holidays are feeling overwhelming before they even start, this episode is for you. Today we're breaking down how to spot the early warning signs of stress before they turn into burnout. Then we'll walk through a simple way to decide what actually matters, what can be delegated, and what can be dropped altogether. We'll also talk about how to communicate clearly when you ask for help and why saying no is sometimes the most powerful form of self-care.
So hi, everybody. I'm Erin. Welcome to Beyond the Scale with Jen and Erin. I am doing this episode solo this week. Poor Jen has laryngitis. And so being that we both have jobs that we speak for a living, we're giving her voice a day off. So today, mental load, stress. Anybody feel a little stressed out this holiday season? We're going to be talking about a term, mental load. This was something I hadn't heard that term until maybe in the last year or so. I wish I'd heard it sooner because I feel like it describes so many aspects of my life and my frustrations at times so spot on. For the moms out there, for the wives out there, for all of us who keep track of all of the things. And what I mean, all of the things in your home, all of your children's appointments, their vaccinations, the bills, the cooking. Do we have shaving cream? Do we have Pepto-Bismol? Those are some fun things that it seems to be, they fall under the umbrella of the wife and mother to keep track of. And those are things that we are keeping track of on top of everybody's Christmas wish list, on top of everything else. So we're going to be breaking down some steps on how we can possibly find ways to manage that stress in our lives so that we can enjoy the holidays and get more out of our time with our friends and family. So we're going to dive right into that. What are some of the red flags that you notice when you feel stressed out? I know for me, I can get a little on the snippy side. Perhaps you'll ask me a question and I will be just so frustrated that you may get a very snippy answer out of me. What are the red flags that you notice? Do you find that just simple questions get you frustrated? Do you feel especially tired? This time of year with the daylight changing, do you notice a change in your mood? Do you feel especially tired with the darker days? These are all things that impact our feelings, our emotions, and how we manage the mental load. I think talking about this makes it feel like you're not alone, that you're not the only person that carries that stress around with you. Sometimes when we're out there, we can feel like, well, everybody else looks like they're living the perfect Hallmark holiday movie, and I'm just a big hot mess. How can we reframe? How can we manage the fact that not everything has to be our responsibility? Have you ever noticed that it seems like people think that it's all your responsibility, but it's not? It's their responsibility. Sometimes being able to recognize when our loved ones start to put those emotional demands on us, we need to be able to step back for a moment and reframe and say to ourselves, okay, I see that you're feeling this way, but I am unable to manage all of these things. Yet you have a little bit of time on your hands right here. So I'm going to hand this back to you. Perhaps it is delegating. A few podcasts back, Jen and I were talking about what we can give up to give ourselves a break. And she brought up a valid point that sometimes when we do ask for help, and our loved ones help us, they don't do things exactly the way we might do them. I think about, for example, unloading or loading the dishwasher. They have their own ways of doing it. Now, you may open it and think, oh my gosh, why would they do it that way? Sometimes it takes a moment to stop and reframe and say, I didn't do it. I didn't have to do it. Somebody else did it for me. I'm going to take it the way it is. Now, not to say if they did something crazy with it, that's acceptable. But if they did it to the best of their ability or the way they thought you wanted it done, isn't done better than nothing at all. It has taken me a while to realize that in my own life, that sometimes it doesn't have to be done my way. It just has to be done. And that is a beautiful thing. Has anyone ever noticed that? Leave it in the comments. What is something that one of your family members did for you that felt like it took so much off your plate and made you feel so much better? So I want to hear all about it, because when those things have happened, they're kind of those things that they stop you in your tracks for a moment, and you should really lean in and take a moment to really take it in, because sometimes we don't always take the moment to appreciate what others do for us. So we have an exercise, and it's called the 3 buckets. So I'd like you to consider, what is something you absolutely have to do? You know that it's something that you really can't delegate out to anyone else. It is something that absolutely has to be done by you. But then think about, what are the things that I can do that don't take a whole lot of energy? What are those easy things that you can do, that you can start with? Because sometimes starting with something easy and building momentum, that can make you feel better. But then my favorite, what is something that you're not going to do? What is something that you can hand off to a loved one? What is something you can just decide, we're just not doing it this year? You know, when the kids were little, maybe it was something that we did and everybody enjoyed, but now they're all grown up. Nobody cares about it. So why are you doing it? Sometimes we like to keep those traditions around, but if nobody cares, those are those easy things that we can let go so easily. Some things are harder to let go of. Some of them feel connected to a loved one who may or may not still be with you. So that might be harder to let go of. Think about the things that you notice that don't seem important to other people. Maybe they're still important to you, but maybe you could take the year off. Say, I'm just not going to do it this year. And then you can revisit it next year. Okay. Next thing I want you to do, to reduce your mental load, I want you to consider delegating. I want you to choose 3 things to hand off. 3 things that you know that your family is more than capable of doing. Something that will help you feel your load lighten. What are those 3 things for you? Maybe it's running to the grocery store to take care of those things. Maybe it's wrapping presents. Now, remember, they may not wrap presents exactly Martha Stewart style. Could that be okay? Could done be better than perfection? Things to consider with that. Ask for help without apologizing. Including your family in family to-dos. Do not apologize. They live here, you work as a team. Do not apologize. Always a thank you, an acknowledgement is always nice. Who doesn't like to be acknowledged? But you don't need to apologize for asking for help. Third, expect support from your family. It's okay that you want to include them. It's okay to say, hey, I don't have enough time. There's not enough hours in the day to do all of this. I need your help. It's okay. Lastly, be very specific in your request, and especially the time frame. I do believe that where this is the area that can be the most frustrating. You may ask someone for help with something that you mean to be done immediately, like right this second, like stop what you're doing and help me now. But they may think, she just wants me to get it done. No, you need to be very specific on the time. If you need them right away, or in the next 5 or 10 minutes. That can help deal with the stress. Being clear can help you and them to be less stressed. Lastly, let's talk about self-care. It's not so much about making time for a bubble bath. It's more about recognizing the areas that you can let go of, that you ask for help with, that you realize are no longer serving you. It's okay to let go of things that you don't have time for. Believe me, your family will understand. They will enjoy a much happier version of you when you've been able to let go of things. So I'd like you to consider, what is something that you could let go of this year? What is something that you just do because you feel like, well, I've always done it this way, but nobody seems to really notice. You don't get any enjoyment from it. What is something that you can let go of? So I hope that this has given you a little food for thought on ways that perhaps maybe you can lighten your mental load, lighten your stress so that you can enjoy your time with your family during the holidays. Anyway, I appreciate you being here. We look forward to seeing you next week. Jen will be back to her old self with her beautiful voice next week, and hope that you're enjoying the holidays. Anyway, thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.